Thanks for showing up for season 1, episode number 2. Some of the treatments that I had to go through. First of all, after that, Dr. Molly making that decision that exact day, the very next day, we started these shots that were one shot 5 times a week, Monday through Friday. And on the end of Friday, it looked like I had been stung by a bunch of wasps or hornets nests, and it was. I felt pretty bad on Saturday and Sunday, kind of weak, nauseous type of thing, and that went on for I think about 4 to 6 weeks. During that process, I was going through some blood transfusions. I had like 26 platelet transfusions, all different types of things like that. One thing about the blood transfusion part, I was told that that they really can't all the time 100% guarantee that everything's removed from the blood that you're getting. You could possibly get AIDS, HIV, whatever. And I was lucky not to get any of that. But that was a process during that. They had started talking to me about a stem cell transplant at that time, trying to prepare me for that, because I was actually a pretty good candidate, because I had no like medical issues whatsoever before this, no diabetes, nothing like that going on. I was 6'4", 210 pounds. I was starting to wiggle my way down to about 145 pounds, because that's what it does to you. It makes you lose a tremendous amount of weight. So anyway, I was going through that process. Now, it's 56 minutes away from my house. Me and my wife would drive up to University Hospital in Cleveland, sometimes every day, and sometimes 3 times a week. And during this process, and they're trying to increase my blood counts with blood transfusions. Platelet counts were low, meaning that you could die because your blood won't form a clot like a scab if you get cut, or internally too. It happens the same way, but you won't seal it up, and that could happen. So anyway, they started preparing me for a stem cell transplant. Now I'm talking like May of 2019, June, July, August of 2019. At the beginning of September of 2019, they started really getting serious about the stem cell transplant type thing. And they wanted a sibling, preferably. That would be the best option. And other than that, they could go search the stem cell bank. And it's people that donate their bone marrow stem cells to help other people. And God bless them all for doing that, for sure. But my little brother came in. It's John, and he's married the same woman, Danielle, forever. They got 3 kids. Good family guy, hard worker. He's smart. The family's smart, all of them. And so he gets tested for that, comes back 100% match, which is a 12 out of 12, which is pretty rare, actually, for that to happen. And I believe it was something of God, of divine God. And so they said, we're going to end up shipping the stem cells up to Cleveland from Florida. And the process for him was like two times of 3.5 hours. They pull blood out of one arm, and it goes back in the other arm. During that process, in the middle, they're taking out the stem cells that's required for that. And so they collect that. So anyway, that was happening. In the process, I'm pretty much trying to fight my insurance company back and forth for genetic testing, that type of thing. They will come back. It's not covered. Now these are like $8,000 tests, and you get stress over that mentally, because if you're going to survive, who's going to pay that back, right? If you die, it doesn't matter, because you don't have to pay anybody back. Correctly? Well, I'm correct, right? Correct for sure. Can't take anything with you. You can't bring anything with you, including bills. So anyway, they scheduled me for September 19th. I have some anxiety over this. I end up going to see Dr. Nemi, which is a faith healer. And I'll go into that in the next episode by the faith healer and that type of thing, because it can be that's a whole nother story. But I went to see him before. I went to see a woman That's like a homeopathic type doctor. She's not a doctor, but she knows a lot. And I went through a frequency resetting of my body, and I'll talk about that later in the next episode. And kind of quite fascinating stuff, actually, because I didn't want to have to go through a stem cell transplant. I wanted to maybe be cured before I went. But anyway, I ended up going through a stem cell transplant on the 18th of September. I'm sleeping. I have to be there in the morning on September 19th of 2019 for a stem cell transplant. And it's a procedure. So anyway, that night I had tossing and turning. I had a lot of anxiety in my brain going on. I have a possibility of dying within a week, right? After something like that. So you go through a stem cell, it might not work, and you die. So, you know what they say, things flash in front of your face, in your mind, of all the things in your life. Well, it did. So, it did. And it was complete color. I saw my daughter get born again in full color. She had complications at first. They had to pull her out with these tongs type thing, and it made a mark on the top of her head. And I ended up getting that fixed with plastic surgery when she got a little bit older, so no one in the whole world would ever know it was even there. But I remember going with my son snake hunting and turtle hunting. We were swampers. We loved to go on a swamp. He loved that kind of thing, catching turtles and snakes and all that kind of thing. And it was just a great thing. And so everything was positive though. There was no negative thoughts during that dream. So I woke up in the morning, had tears in my eyes. Me and my wife had always said the same prayer over and over and over again. And it was a page and a half that I typed out. It was kind of a long prayer, and we usually would read it every morning. Sometimes we'd something would happen and we wouldn't read it. Okay, and it's, life throws challenges at you during these processes. So I got the piece of paper out. I'm sitting in my recliner. My wife's sitting in a chair, not in a chair, in the sofa, and we're looking at each other, kind of thing. And I'm trying to get through this prayer, and I just couldn't do it. I just ended up breaking down crying. Now, I'm kind of not like really a crier kind of thing, but I do get upset on things, not meanly. Things upset me, hurt my feelings when someone hurts a kid, hurts a dog or an animal. I have a lot of feeling for that type of thing. I don't like to be mean to people. I don't like seeing people being mean to other people. I believe in kindness and love and hope. That's who I am. So anyway, I barely got through this thing. So we end up to the hospital. Very emotional time. Going to the hospital, and they prepped a room for me. Very nice room. I'm inside Mid-Cancer Center, which is a really great place. Very clean on third floor, kind of a lockdown facility kind of thing. You have to be buzzed in because people have a low immune problems going on in this section. So a cold can kill you. True. The sniffles could set it off, and your body just can't fight that back. So they're prepping me. Now they're going to take me down to almost zero on everything. So they want to go like zero in your red blood counts, your white blood cells. I mean, almost everything down to zero. Now, when this is happening, they're pumping all types of chemicals in you. There's a machine, several machines pumping sometimes 5 bags on one and 2 or 3 on another one. So they want to put a port in my neck. So I go, they scoot me down to an operating room to put a port in my neck. I pull in they scoot me in there. I'm laying flat down on the bed. And they have Metallica playing in there. I'm like, dude, I'm in the right place. And the doctor comes up to me, really young guy. Doctor comes up to me and says, hey, do you want me to turn that down? I said, no, crank that up. So obviously that's what happened. So they're prepping me. They got me laid down on the operating table, and he said, I'm going to put a little cut right here on here so I can stick this tube down close to your heart. And he said, I'm going to numb you. And I said, no, don't numb me. I said, I want to feel this. He said, well, I've never had anybody ever say that to me, but let's do it. Okay, he's game. I'm game. And he sliced it right there. And he said, what did that feel like? And I said, I've had paper cuts worse than that, factually. You hurt, get a paper cut, it's like hurts for weeks. Oh yeah, but this no is like not a big deal. I wanted to feel it. He said, "I'm gonna put this tube down you." So this tube has marks on it, like in centimeters, type of thing. So he put it all the way down close to my heart, and I can watch it on like a monitor TV screen, going down. And it's like a certain distance from the heart. Actually, it's like in my jugular vein kind of thing. And then he measured exactly how far the tube was in there. And the reason why is when they pull it out, they want to had the same measurement in case the end of it broke off and that piece part is in your body somewhere to get jammed up somewhere and end up hurting you in one way or another. I don't know. Kill you, make you go blind, whatever. And nobody wants that to happen. So after he put that little cap on, I had a port there. And then they put two ports here in my arm. This is before I went in for my thing in my neck. They had 2 ports here, which comes in handy instead of like pricking you all the time, trying to take blood and putting stuff in you. You had ports on you, which handy. I have always believed, or not believe, I always thought of an idea. You should have one when you're born. Just a port in you that's hidden, and you just, whenever you need blood or anything like that, there it is. It's ready to rock and roll all the time, right? Well, anyway, so I go through that. It's a process. They said most people during this process will go through, have diarrhea. Not me. I had constipation massively. And it was so bad that I'd break out in sweat, hardcore sweat. It just wouldn't come out. And the only way I could get any type of relief, I'd stand up in the shower, in a warm shower in the hospital, which were big showers, by the way, and go to the bathroom standing up. It was kind of like the only way to do it. And so anyway, the struggles in life, but a lot of people have a lot more struggles than that, so you know. So anyway, they send the stem cells up from my brother. He went through took him 3.5 hours twice to pull his stem cells out of his body, and put them in a bag, and they, analyzed all that, and then they shipped it up to Cleveland. Now, my brother is a really good dude. His name's John. He's married to Danielle. He's got 3 kids, very smart kids, by the way. So anyway, that comes up there, and they give me the stem cells. I lost my thought there for a minute. Give me my stem cells on the 26th of September of 2019. Completely uneventful. Took about, I would say, 45 minutes. And it just looks like blood going into one of my port in my neck. Went in there. And the whole idea behind that is, since my body has like 0, and I'm down to almost like dying mode, it enters my bloodstream, goes into my bone marrow, and begins producing his DNA, not mine, his. By doing that, it changes my blood type to his at that moment. Amazing, right? So, nothing happened to me in here. I still have the same soul. I'm still the same person. I have the same gifts, but a lot of my gifts after this process have been amplified. I really wasn't a piano player. I can play piano. I really wasn't a guitar player. I can play guitar. I've always been a drummer, and I've always believed, and people have always told me I'm a great drummer. Always have been. So anyway, that amplified a lot of things. I've always had the ability to write really good songs, but that has really amplified itself too. And I'm trying to beat a record. I believe Neil Diamond has 94 songs, and I'm up to about almost 70 right now. So I want to beat Neil Diamond's record of that, and I believe that's his record. He may have written more songs, but those are the songs that actually were recorded. That's a guy that I would love to meet one day. But anyway, so I go through that. I get out in 17 days. They tell me it's pretty much a record. All good. And I believe that was a divine intervention too. So I end up going home after 17 days, and things are doing pretty good for about a week. And that's going to be season 1, episode 3 is the complications behind that. But anyway, I love you guys. Bye.